Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name's Cece, and today we're doing an update on my 3 times a charm project. This is a usage project. Yeah, 3 uses. Basically, it's in the title, right? So I do this project alongside of Andy from the channel Andy Does Stuff and Laura from the channel Laura the Bargain Hunter. They're both some of my good friends and I love them. They're both very talented. Andy is amazing with eyeshadows and Laura is your girl for lippies for sure. Make sure you go check out their videos as well. Andy's is called They're on the Chopping Block and Laura's is called 1, 2, 3 Strikes You're Out. I love that we all have different names for this project, but it's the same premise. So what we do is we pick out items from our collection that are, literally on the chopping block. They're on thin ice. Maybe we don't like the way they worked once. Maybe they're really old and we're not sure the formula is still good. So we try them out 3 times, and if we still like them, they can stay in our collection, and if we don't, they gotta go. Now, I decided that if a product stays in my collection for 3 whole months and I don't meet those 3 uses, I probably don't want to use it, right? Because it's right in front of me. I have that choice every day, and 3 months going by and I can't do it. Yeah, that one's got to go too. So let's go ahead and get into my updates for this month. I do have some good progress and some not so good progress. So starting out with palettes, as I usually do, I did pick out my Illamasqua Unveiled palette this month because I just had not really touched it since I got it in BoxyCharm back in 2020. I only used the mattes. Surprise, surprise. I love my mattes, but for some reason I couldn't bring myself to play with any of the shimmers in here. But I did get my 3 uses in on the mattes. Still not my favorite palette. Still not that exciting, though I will say that these 2 shades are a little warmer than I expected. When you look at them like this, they look very, very cool toned, especially this one, but it's kind of warm. So that was a surprise, and I'll be keeping it. It's not my favorite. It might go in the future, but I got my 3 uses in on it. Next up is my Ace Beauté Floral Vintage palette. I do love this palette. I just love the shades, but I hadn't gotten much use out of it. I did hit my 3 uses in here as well. It was pretty easy because you've got some beautiful fall colors in here. And yes, I do enjoy this palette. I do. I don't know how I could not. It's a gorgeous palette. So that's staying, and this was also in my 50 Shades of Yellow project, so I get to mark it off for both. And last of my palettes was the Sassy Siennas by Dose of Colors. I think that before this project, I had only used this palette once before, and I'd used these more corally shades. I stuck more to this side this time around, and I loved it. Great pigment, good formula, had no issues with it, and I will be pulling this out more often. Now, as far as single shadows, this could be a single pan, it could be a potted or a stick shadow. I actually have one of each of those here. Did not do as well with these. The Estate single shadow here called Smash. This was its 3rd month in the project and I still didn't touch it. And yeah, I can see why. This is not my color. I gave it a chance by putting it in the project. I was pessimistic then, though, and yeah, I don't want to use it, so this one is going to be decluttered. My About Face Pearly Inferno stick here, this I did not use again this month. It's the 2nd month in the project for it, and I had used it once the previous month, so it's got 1 more month. I need to use it twice in November, or it is going to have to leave my collection. And the 1st month in the project for this one, this is a Terra Moons single shadow in the shade Wild Rose, not Wicked. Wicked Rose. It is Wicked Rose, not Wild. Okay, this is a beautiful shade. I only used it once though, So I need to get 2 more uses in on this little guy as well, but I've got 2 more months to get through that. Face products. Well, yeah, it was the 3rd month in here for this Winky Lux White Tea Tinted Moisturizer, and again, I did not use it at all, so this one is being decluttered as well. My ColourPop Love Struck highlighter, yes, this was the 3rd month for it also, but I did hit that 3rd use, and it is beautiful. It's just not really a fall shade, which is part of why it took me so long to hit my 3 uses, but I'll be keeping that. And then my Rose Ink Cream Shadow in the shade Heliotrope. Still not a big fan. You see the dip in there. That's the only part of this that I've managed to get actually creamy. The rest is pretty hard. It works well on the face. It's fine once it's applied, but in the pan, I'm not a fan of the texture I'm getting. I've used this twice now, so I need to use it 1 more time in the next month. This will be its 2nd month in the project. For my lippies, it was the 3rd month in the project for this Ilia Tahiti lip gloss, and I only used it once in those 3 months. It's not really a shade I'm interested in having in my collection, so it's gonna go. The Etude Fixing Tint. This is actually an interesting shade because it dries down a lot more red tinted than it looks in here. It's an interesting product and I'm not disliking it. I have used it twice, so I need 1 more use in this month, but I think I'll be keeping it around. And also I have this Bare Minerals Friendship matte liquid lip. It's matte, but it's more of a cream than a liquid lip in my opinion. In my opinion, liquid lips dry down. I have this on right now, which is my 2nd use, and it is not entirely dry. I did use it once with a Lime Crime liquid lip primer under it, and then it was especially creamy. It's not quite as creamy this time, but it's also not dry. So not a liquid lip, but I don't mind the color. I don't mind the texture. And I think I'll be keeping it around, surprisingly. All right, so that was everything from last month or past months. And let me show you what I will be bringing in for the items that are being either decluttered or that met their 3 marks and are staying in my collection. First up, we have 3 new palettes. The first 2 are in my 50 Shades of Yellow project, so they're both ColourPop palettes. I have my Lil Ray of Sunshine, which I've not used at all, and I have my Wannabe palette, which I've used once. Typically, I do not bring anything into this project that I have not used before. But I've used a lot of ColourPop and I know I like the formula, so I don't need to run this through my one and done project first. So these are 2 of the palettes. And the 3rd one I chose is my Ciate London The Editor New England palette. I'm not a huge fan of Ciate. I've kept this around for a long time, but it looks barely touched. If I've used it, it might have been once. So I'm going to try this out 3 times. And I'm guessing it's probably going to go. I don't have a great opinion of this brand. Not because they've done anything wrong, just because their formulas don't seem to be that great for eyeshadow. But we're going to give it a try. We'll see. For my single shadows, I'm going to pull in a new potted shadow. This is Nature's Cartel, and the shade is Champagne Scandal. I've only used this once before, and I don't think I liked it that much. So I'm going to give it some more chances and see. Also pulling in my Merit Cheeky cream blush, and I've used this a few times, but not recently. It is a darker shade than I prefer. And it's a little pinker than I prefer, but we are heading into winter, so dark is not a bad thing. And I'm actually pulling in a skincare product because I'm running low on face products that haven't been in this project. So this is Haru Haru Wonder Black Bamboo Mist. I remember trying this in the video where I opened it from an advent calendar, and I don't think I have tried it since. I actually thought for a while that it was a toner, but I think it's a face mist, so I'm going to try it 3 times and see how I feel about it. And for lippies, last item we're pulling in is this Lime Crime Liquid Lip in the shade GG. It looks very similar to the Bare Minerals that I have on, but I'm a fan of neutral lips, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. I really don't know what I think of the Lime Crime Liquid Lip formula, so time to figure that out. All right, those are all my updates for my 3 times a charm. Please remember to go check out Andy and Laura's videos as well. They will be linked in my description box down below. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and leave me some comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think about these products or my general approach to this project. If you haven't yet, I'd be thrilled if you guys would subscribe to this channel. I'd love to have you around for my panning journey. And thank you so much for being here. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.